So I was perusing YouTube today, and I was looking for appropriate videos on Yom Kippur. Something interesting that I could watch. Something that was, kind of outside the realm of the usual stuff that you always see on Yom Kippur about tshuva and apologizing and I guess changing ourselves, which are all great things. But I wanted to see something a little more, I guess, Kabbalistic, metaphysical, deeper. And as I was looking for that, I came across a video, or one of the many videos, of the favorite activity of the citizens of Tel Aviv on Yom Kippur. Some of you guys may know, on Yom Kippur, granted, there are people who go to shul on Yom Kippur. There's a lot of people who are in shul, are in synagogue on Yom Kippur. A lot of people who fast. Not all of them are classical, what you would call religious. A lot of them are traditional, modern Orthodox, what have you. But aside from those people, there's a whole, giant group of people in the city of Tel Aviv, and maybe other cities, but primarily in Tel Aviv, who basically are out on Yom Kippur on their bicycles, on their skateboards, and rollerblades, and just out and having a good time, and with their families, with their kids. The whole country shuts down on Yom Kippur, which is the great thing. People think Israel is not a religious country, so to speak, but the whole country shuts down on Yom Kippur. The entire country, in terms of like the businesses and all that kind of stuff. So in Tel Aviv, not just the stores shut down, but pretty much like the highway's closed. You cannot drive on the highway. There's no driving. Nobody's driving. Like, if you guys remember, there was a whole brouhaha over, buses running on Shabbat. There is no argument from anyone about buses running or taxis running on Yom Kippur, or at least buses. Not from secular, not from religious, not from non-Jews, not from anyone. Everybody knows in the country that on Yom Kippur, nothing's running. The country shut down. So, in the case of people who are not, like secular people, or people who are not so connected in terms of like the prayers and the keeping the tradition, those people, they go out on their bicycles, on their rollerblades, on their skateboards, and they're just, they're taking the day to be with their family and just be on the streets. You see people on bicycles on the highway. It looks like, it reminds me of the the New York City bike tour, where the roads are closed to cars, and you can take a bicycle on like the FDR Drive. And I'll tell you, in the previous years that I was watching this, I was saying to myself, oh my God, I can't believe these people. How could this be? They live in Israel. How can they not know about Yom Kippur, or this, just the energy that comes down to the world of Yom Kippur? How can they not know the power of Yom Kippur, the atonement, the opportunity for them to elevate spiritually Yom Kippur? Even if you're not a so to speak religious person, how can you not know about this? How can you not tap into this? Like, how is there so much ignorance? How is there so much just either ignorance or not caring about it, or not? How can it be? It's like it's almost like there's two different worlds, where the two worlds in Israel don't know about each other, the religious and the secular. Or in between you have the traditional, but they know some stuff, but then like really there's like two realms that never meet, that never cross paths, and there's like all this antagonism. If you watch the news, if you watch the media, how the media spins against religiosity or anything spiritual or anything to do with tradition, they spin against it, and they foment discord in the nation. And I would always ask myself, how could this be? And it's all their fault, and and this and that. And I'll tell you, this year, somehow, some way, I don't know how, And maybe the irony is that I was looking for, in the process of looking for, this kind of deep Kabbalistic, metaphysical, beneath the surface video on YouTube, I came across this video, and this was the video that was actually exactly what I was looking for. If you're talking about beneath the surface and Kabbalistic and metaphysical and deep and, removing the veil, I'll tell you, this is the video among probably any other video, like that could be like a lecture from some Kabbalist or from some deep rabbi. This is the video that probably explains it all. If you look deeper, you'll see that there's a bunch of people here tapping into something they don't normally tap into. How do we know? How do you know that guy who's on a bicycle with his son, or just on a bicycle, period, maybe this guy never gets to take his bicycle out. Maybe he works like a dog, 24/7, literally. He probably doesn't keep Shabbat. He probably works like a dog. And this is the day where even his office is closed. This is the day where even he's not working. And this is the day that he takes out his like $10,000 bike that he worked like a dog for. He doesn't even get to use it during the year. And this is the one day he gets to take it out and connect to himself, to nature, to maybe Hashem, to maybe, who knows? How do you know what this guy is thinking? Maybe this guy doesn't even resonate with, synagogues or rabbis, but he does have some kind of a version of prayer or belief in Hashem that he's not telling anybody. Or maybe we just don't know. Maybe him and his friends share this amongst each other. How the heck do we know? Just because this guy's out on a bicycle in Tel Aviv, we have no idea. And there's probably millions of people like this who are not just out on a bicycle or out on a rollerblades or skateboards or just taking a walk or whatever. Maybe it's even an electric bike. God forbid, electric bike on Yom Kippur. Okay, maybe some of them are fasting. Maybe some of them are not. Maybe some of them fasted half the day. Maybe some of them are only drinking water, not eating food. Maybe, who knows? Maybe some of them are like, okay, I'm not going to eat gluten today. Maybe this is my, maybe they're taking this day to say, you know what? I'm going to go on that diet I've wanted to go on so I don't die early from a heart attack, God forbid. Maybe people are elevating themselves spiritually and personally and taking on new things in their lives on this day as they're, riding a bicycle in Tel Aviv on the Ayalon. Maybe that's their way to connect. It is what it is. Maybe they just have gotten tired of maybe the Rabbanut or whoever in Israel or some establishment that is just telling them this is what you have to do, not explaining why you have to do it. Sure, maybe the media has fanned the flames of that discord, but at the same time, we can't discount that every single one of those people out on the highway and out on the road and out on Ben Yehuda Street and on the Tayelet, on the boardwalk, on Dizengoff Street, we can't discount the fact that these people are also trying to connect to something and searching for something, and they're also Jews, and maybe just, they're going to be out on the streets and they'll see somebody coming out of shul. They'll see maybe a Chabad guy or a shliach or some person, and they'll say, Gemar Chatima Tova to each other, or they'll say Shana Tova, or they'll say Tzom Kal, easy fast. Maybe they're fasting, maybe they're not, but the point is, for the friends watching, the point is that sometimes people have their own way of connecting, and sometimes we have to look beneath the surface and see that there's more to it than just shul and prayer. I was talking yesterday to someone at a friend's get-together, and she was saying to me, this is a person who was like grew up Reform, still maybe is, I don't know, growing Jew or searching Jew, and says, listen, I connect with Pesach, with Passover, I connect with Rosh Hashanah, I connect with all these holidays where you're physically doing something that connect to certain foods or things or events or whatever. She's like, Yom Kippur, I can't connect to it. you're fasting and you're just sitting, or you're just doing nothing, you know? And it's almost like why am I suffering? It's almost like a suffering for what? And I try to explain, you know, well, you're elevating yourself spiritually because you're disconnecting from the physical, and you're, you know, and then you have like the liturgy that talks about stuff, and you have, you know, the 5 levels and everything. She told me, well, if you're connected to those things, then great. If you know what you're reading, and if you're learned, like actually learned, you know, in terms of lamdus, then you understand what you're connecting to. But if you have no idea, then you can't connect. She's like, I can't connect in that way. I can't connect in sitting in shul all day. So for some people, you know, it's maybe just to get on a bicycle, because they work 24/7. Then they have this expensive bicycle. They never even get to use it. $10,000, $5,000 bicycle made from graphite that weighs like two ounces. And this person is like, oh my God, it's Yom Kippur, and I can, you know, I live in Israel, so everything's closed today. I'm not going to protest because I work like a dog. And yalla, let's go. Let's get on the Ayalon. There's no cars on the Ayalon. There's no traffic. We can go, if we want, we can get on our bikes and go from here to Haifa and back all day. You know, we can go from here to Yerushalayim and back. We go here we can take our bikes all the way down to Eilat, and we come, you know, go up to Rosh Hanikra. Baruch Hashem, you know, like, and connect with nature, and connect with Hashem in our own way, and it's a beautiful thing. So, friends, just want to tell you, I think that it's my humble opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a big Mikubal, Kabbalist, tzaddik, whatever. Could be dead wrong, but it's my humble opinion that I think that there are more Jews connecting around the world on this day. If you look at totally secular, totally unaffiliated, maybe Reform, maybe conservative, maybe, you know, maybe whatever, modern Orthodox, Chabad, Rav Kook. There are more Jews connecting on this day in some way, shape, or form, in their own way, than any other day. There are more Jews that are conscious. Friends, I'll tell you like this. Normally, I live in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. You know, and I'm supposed to visit my family in Jersey today. I'm on the way to Jersey right now. And normally it takes me about an hour, maximum an hour 15 to get from point A to point B. This is with traffic. And even on a Friday, today's a Friday, and today's Erev Yom Kippur, I looked at my Waze when I was at home in my apartment. I looked at my Waze, and it said that today it's going to take me 2 hours to get home. It's going to take me 2 hours to get home. And I will tell you, New York, the New York metro area, is one of the most populated in terms of the Jewish population in the country. Populated areas. And I bet my bottom dollar that most of the Jews in this town, in this metro area, I will say like North Jersey, Central Jersey, Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island, etc., Manhattan, are going home to be with their families on Yom Kippur, and to at least go to some version or commemorate some version of Yom Kippur, or to celebrate. It's really a celebration. It's supposedly the happiest day of the year on the Jewish calendar. That and Tu B'Av, there's a connection between them. Other story. But I guarantee you, know, I'm sitting, it's funny, I was upset at first when I put it in my Waze. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be in traffic for 2 hours. Then I'm just like, wait a minute, man, it's Yom Kippur. You know why there's 2 hours of traffic from Brooklyn to Jersey to Bergen County? Because every Jew is going home. Every Jew is going. Guys, I'm like tearing up right now. Every Jew is going home. Every Jew in New York, almost every Jew is going home for Yom Kippur. Is going somewhere, and the roads are full. They're clogged. That you can't get. I'm standing right now. I'm trying to get on the turnpike right now. Just left Lincoln Tunnel. It's amazing. It's incredible. You know, here they're going home. In Tel Aviv, they're on their bicycles. They're not in shul, they're on their bicycles, connecting to Hashem, connecting to nature, connecting to their families, their kids, whoever. And it's Baruch Hashem. And really, we should all be written in the book of life, spiritual life. And we should understand that, we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. We have no idea how many Jews are seeking. I met them last night at my friends get together. I meet them all the time. How many Jews are seeking? They just don't know what they're seeking, what they're supposed to be seeking. We live in a generation that's so disconnected, they don't even know what to connect to. But they are trying. They don't know where to start, but they're trying. They want, but they don't know what they don't know what they should be wanting. And no one's explaining it to them. Or the ones who do are like patronizing or, treating them like little kids. Friends, let's if we're gonna bring our fellow Jews closer, let's do it, with love, and let's do it, but also let's do it on a respectful kind of like equal level, equal playing field. Let's not do it from like looking down on them. Today I was watching that video. I wasn't looking down on those Jews who were on their bicycles. I was saying to myself, you know what? Maybe one of these guys, a few of these guys are more connected on this day than I am. If I'm sitting in shul, I'm distracted by, I don't know, by the same liturgy, in every single prayer, the Shachris, the Mincha, the Mar. There's some of the same stuff over and over and over and over again. Like it's like a repeated, broken record. Hate to say it. And I have to like regenerate myself to reconnect to each tefillah, each portion of the prayer. And meanwhile I'm fasting, and I have to just like reignite myself, and then I finally get to Ne'ilah, the last prayer, and I'm standing there, and I'm just like, when is this? I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, okay, this is the final hour, and then the ark is gonna be open, and like, who knows? Maybe I'm not connecting as well as the guy who was on a bicycle, on the Ayalon. So, friends, don't judge a book by its cover. People are connecting left and right today. May we be sealed in the book of life. Amen.